Right now at 6, organizations gather in protest outside Pittsburgh's new Planned Parenthood clinic.
And we've got a warmer start out there, still cool for some of us, and it's going to be a hotter day across the 4 states. Latest on that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Pittsburgh City Commission discusses proposed ordinances related to the homeless community.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Elise Noe.
I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday. We are halfway through this work week, and as we mentioned earlier as well, it's also, of course, September 11th,
Yes.
23 years ago.
Never
Can't forget those events that took place. Wherever you were, you very likely remember watching and exactly how that day went 23 years ago. And a lot of memorial events planned for today, even locally. But if you are planning to attend one or participate in one, make sure you are prepared to be hydrated. It's going to be a little hotter today than what we've been over the last couple of days, so you want to make sure you're ready for that. Otherwise, it's going to be dry across the region, and unfortunately, Francine doesn't look to bring us much rain either. We'll talk about her a little later. But let's get you out the door first with a look outside from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Looking good this morning. Clear skies so far. We'll see a few clouds a little later today. Our camera 7th and range line also looking pretty good this morning as well. So a couple of folks on the roadway, a few folks getting their day underway. Take a look at the MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin, looking back to the north. Also looking fairly good this morning as well. As we take a look at the future, not the future track. I'm used to that being right here. Wanted to keep adding the FOD tracker in at the beginning of these shows just to let you know we've still got around the Grand Lake area. There's all that water. We've had some crazy weather, temperatures. We got dense fog. Let's just get with that. Dense fog. It's a little better, though. Visibility has improved around the Grove area, but you can still see that white shade right here across parts of Delaware County, western McDonald County, and southern Ottawa County. So if you are traveling this morning down there, just keep that in mind. There's a little bit of patchy fog. It could get a little thicker as you get closer to the lake, so just watch out for that. Otherwise, today we'll start the day clear, and then we'll have a few clouds a little later this afternoon. Future track, again, showing some showers. I do not believe there will actually be any showers today, but clouds will begin to gradually increase as we go late tonight towards sunrise tomorrow, with Francine making landfall later today and lifting off to the north, but staying well to our east. 66 in Joplin, 55 in Pittsburgh. We've got a very wide spread of temperatures of almost a 20-degree range, anywhere from the 50s, and we had some lower 50s earlier, to the upper 60s. But otherwise, again, not a bad start today. Some of us much warmer, upwards of 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. Some of us not that much warmer, but still milder than where we have been. Low 60s when kids get on the bus this morning, and otherwise clear skies. A few clouds later today, much warmer though, 88 when that bus brings them home. Average high, mid-80s. We are looking at highs today right around 90 degrees. Again, with a few clouds as we head in the afternoon, clouds gradually increasing late this evening and overnight. We're going to talk more about Francine, what it may or may not do for us, and about some other rain chances we have down the road here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
Chris, thanks. Authorities in Joplin say a woman is dead following an overnight crash on I-44. It happened around 3 yesterday morning near mile marker 6.2. According to the Missouri State Highway Patrol's crash report, the driver, 22-year-old Jessica Chapman of Joplin, was driving east when she went off the road, hit a guardrail, and overturned. She died at the scene. Authorities in Jasper County have arrested a suspect in the deaths of 8 puppies found in a plastic tote outside the Joplin Humane Society. The Humane Society officials say the tote was discovered this past weekend in a spot where it was not easily seen. All of the puppies were found dead inside. Now, the sheriff's office says the suspect is in custody, though official charges are pending. Authorities also have a person of interest in this case who was arrested for outstanding warrants. Parsons, Kansas police arrest a man in a kidnapping case. Authorities on Sunday responded to a robbery at a room at the Canterbury Inn, where they say a suspect with a yellow bandana and a AR-style rifle kidnapped a woman and stole nearly $500 and a set of car keys. They say the suspect was later found at a home on Deer Street, where this victim was rescued. Official charges have not yet been filed. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Pittsburgh City Commission will discuss cracking down on people who take shopping carts from grocery stores and rummage through trash bins. Director of Community Development and Housing for the City of Pittsburgh says it's an effort to keep the community clean. She says when people rummage through trash bins, they often leave a mess behind.
Individuals are taking their trash out and others are coming behind them and digging through, leaving trash out. That's blowing down the streets, it's blowing down our alleys. There's paper, there's cardboard, there's furniture, there's household goods.
Commissioners passed both ordinances on the first reading last night. Well, pro-life organizations gathered yesterday outside the new Planned Parenthood clinic in Pittsburgh to express their views. These organizations included Operation Rescue and Students for Life of America. Organizers say they want to bring attention to the new facility and the fact that abortions are performed there. They say they're also concerned about the center's proximity to Pittsburgh State University and the states of Missouri, Arkansas, and Oklahoma, which have more restrictive abortion laws.
We want to save babies from abortion. We want women to have productive lives that include their children. We believe that women can be productive and successful and live very fulfilled lives with their children at their side instead of their children being tossed away like they're trash.
In a statement to KOAM, a spokesperson for Planned Parenthood called the event a, quote, unnecessary disruption to the patients who come to Planned Parenthood for essential comprehensive sexual and reproductive health care services. Missouri Supreme Court yesterday ruled an amendment to restore abortion rights in the state can stay on the November ballot. Amendment 3 aims to make abortion rights a part of the state's constitution. Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft had removed the measure from the ballot following a county circuit judge's ruling in a case claiming the petition to add it misled voters by not informing them of all the abortion laws it would repeal. Now, the state's highest court disagreed and says Ashcroft must ensure the measure is on the ballot. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. One of the country's most iconic brands, Campbell's Soup, is proposing to change its name. Plus, the presidential nominees wrapped up their highly anticipated debate over the nation's top issues. And Chris Warner returns with another look at your Wednesday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, we take time to honor those who died on this day 23 years ago. Topping Nation Watch this morning. One of the country's most iconic brands plans to change its name. Campbell's Soup wants to drop soup from its corporate moniker. The company has been around for 155 years, but leaders say there's more to Campbell's these days than just soup, and soup is now a smaller part of the company's sales. So it wants to be known as the Campbell's Company. Campbell's owns a variety of snacks and foods that include Goldfish, Pepperidge Farm, and Snyder's of Hanover. Shareholders will have the final say on whether the name change becomes official. They will decide the issue at the company's annual meeting in November. Well, it's hard to get 52 states to agree on anything, but apparently they are in step when it comes to social media. Attorneys generals for 42 states have signed a letter to Congress demanding a Surgeon General warning label on social media apps. They say the algorithm-driven social media platforms threaten the safety of young adults and feed the mental health crisis. Several states have already taken legal action against a number of social media companies, including Meta and TikTok. Just hours ago, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump wrapped up their highly anticipated debate, with razor-thin margins currently separating the two in the latest battleground state polls. For about 90 minutes, the candidates went head-to-head on some of the nation's top issues as they continue to try and win over the remaining undecided voters who could determine the outcome of the 2024 race. Jared Hill reports.
Sept, good debate.
A handshake kicked off the first meeting between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. But the 90-minute debate soon turned into a sparring match over issues like the economy.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation.
Abortion.
For years, they wanted to get it out of Congress and out of the federal government. And we did something that everybody said couldn't be done.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
And immigration.
They've destroyed the fabric of our country. Millions of people let in.
What we have in the former president is someone who would prefer to run on a problem instead of fixing a problem.
The former president even spreading misinformation about migrants in Ohio.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
He also repeatedly worked to link Harris to President Joe Biden, who dropped out of the race in July.
She is Biden. You know, she's trying to get away from Biden.
I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
Both candidates continued to make their case after the debate. Vice President Harris greeting supporters at an event here in Philadelphia, while former President Trump claimed victory in the spin room with reporters.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good.
This is very much two different visions for our country.
Both campaigns taking a pause today to mark 23 years since the September 11th attacks are back in the swing states tomorrow. Jared Hill, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Now, the Harris Walls ticket got a major celebrity endorsement just minutes after the debate wrapped up from Pennsylvania native and pop star Taylor Swift. That's a look at some of today's top national stories. Here's Chris with a look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're taking a quick look at Skywatch Storm Tracker. Nothing out there on the local level across the region, not even any clouds. That will gradually change as we head through the day. Clouds will begin to increase. Looking pretty good from our camera at 7th and Rangeline so far this morning. We're having another look at your forecast, talk about the potential impacts of Francine when we come back.
Well, today the nation honors the roughly 3,000 people whose lives were cut short more than 2 decades ago during the deadliest terror attack on U.S. soil. But as people remember the September 11 attacks, staff at the 9/11 Museum are busy educating folks less familiar with the events in order to fight the spread of misinformation. Kevin Uretsky reports.
Wednesday marks 23 years since the September 11th terror attacks. But amidst the memorials and outpouring of emotions, guides at New York City's 9/11 Museum say they are regularly correcting online misinformation about the assault, especially among young people born after 2001.
I understand that 100 million have been born since that date, just here in America.
Marianne Braverman was working in Tower 2 that fateful day. She sounded the alarm for her coworkers to evacuate.
When I saw that fireball, I knew this was nothing normal.
Braverman has been using her first-hand experience as a survivor, educating visitors to the 9/11 Museum since it opened in 2014. But for young Americans who aren't familiar with the events of 9/11 because they weren't alive yet, Braverman is helping to clarify a lot of their confusion.
I love seeing a light go off when they understand how I've explained how the tower fell. So some of the stuff I've seen on the internet is not correct. How could those terrorists have gotten on the planes with box cutters? And I explained to them that before September 11th, you could carry a knife blade up to 5 inches long on a plane.
While it can be hard to tell children and teens the truth about violence, Braverman stresses how countless people work to try and save one another.
And that's, to me, the most important spirit of 9/11 that we can remember, to take with us.
Now here's Chris with a quick look at your forecast.
Starting with a look outside from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. Got a clear start to the day out there. However, we're going to see clouds increasing. Our camera 7th and Rangeline also looking pretty good this morning as well. We're going to talk about Francine, whether or not it will have an impact on our weather, and some rain chances next week when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 6:21 now on this Wednesday morning. And we're going to start with the future track, where by this afternoon, we're going to start to see a few clouds begin to work into the area from the southeast. Now, future track here is showing some showers out there today. It is not going to shower whatsoever. Every so often, some of the data is sometimes wrong, but, that's just what happens. Now, as we go overnight tonight and into tomorrow, Francine making landfall later today, moving north, but staying to our east. We're going to start to see clouds increasing across the area as we head towards sunrise tomorrow. And we're going to have mostly cloudy skies on our Thursday. Now, Future Track does believe there might be an opportunity for a stray shower or two from Francine. But at this point, all the moisture from Francine expected to stay well to our east, which means if we saw anything, it would be extraordinarily isolated and relatively brief. So here's Francine as it stands right now, 90 miles an hour, so still a Category 1 hurricane out there, but it is continuing to intensify and lift off to the northeast and expected to eventually make landfall as a Category 2 hurricane, and that'll be coming later this afternoon into the evening hours in the southern ends of Louisiana. So you may recall as well with the cone on the path, it was a little further to the west, Francine taking a bigger jog to the east, and that's why we're expecting less of an impact rain-wise from Francine than what we were looking at. Takes it right almost over Jackson, Mississippi as we head into Thursday afternoon. And then by Friday, it'll be just to the to the west of Memphis, and that cone of uncertainty is now nowhere near as big as it was. Yesterday, it stretched from Springfield to Nashville, but it is keeping it well to our south and east. So if Francine does manage to even get in the western edges of this, still the overall impact here will be low. What we are expecting, though, is the increase in cloud cover, which will also help bring down temperatures and keep them a little closer to normal for our Thursday and Friday across the area. But as you can see on the future track, bulk of the rain from Francine expected to remain well to our east, even though we do need some rain, not looking at getting much out of it. We will still also be dealing with smoke from the wildfires out to the west. That's what this is showing. So, of course, the darker the color, the more dense the smoke is. And that's what's been giving us the hazy skies the last few days. So even though we've had sunny skies, clear skies, no actual clouds, we've been dealing with that haze from the smoke from those fires, and that will continue. In fact, as Francine rolls a little closer, it's going to blow in a little more of that smoke by Thursday, but with the mostly cloudy skies, it'll be a little harder to determine that that's even out there. Quick look at temperature, 66 in Joplin. The winds are calm, and around the area, just a very broad range of temperatures this morning. We've got low mid 50s, then we get into the upper 50s, then we get into the low to mid 60s, and in some locations, we have some upper 60s out there as well. So some of us are anywhere from 10 to almost 15 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago, while some of our friends out in parts of southeast Kansas are just a wee bit warmer than where they were this time yesterday. All right, getting our day started. Sunny skies today to start. Mid 60s by 8, low 80s by 11 o'clock. We are looking at highs today again into the mid to upper 80s, right around 90. Average high is mid 80s, and some folks may even go into the low 90s, about 91, 92. So definitely warmer than average. Clouds again increasing gradually through the evening and overnight. Partly cloudy tonight. Low 70s by 10. Overnight lows, low to mid 60s. As we look down the road, again, Francine will bring us the cloud cover and at least some more seasonable temperatures, mid 80s out there. Skies will begin clearing in the second half of our Friday, and then we'll go ahead into the weekend back up above normal, pushing 90 by Sunday, and then we'll have some little waves coming through, giving us an opportunity for some isolated and widely scattered showers and storms as we kick off the next work week. A long-range data is suggesting maybe some better rain chances next weekend, so something to keep an eye on as, again, we desperately need some meaningful rainfall here in 4 states. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, thanks. Women with asthma are more likely to experience miscarriages and more likely to need fertility treatment to get pregnant. A study by the European Respiratory Society found women with asthma had a 1.3% higher chance of miscarriage, but the reason for the connection isn't clear. Now, doctors say that if the asthma is treated with medication, the higher risk is eliminated. We may soon be able to test blood pressure through someone's voice alone. Researchers at Click Lab say they've created an app that detects high blood pressure by noticing differences in the pitch and sharpness of your voice. They say it's more than 77% accurate, and hypertension affects a quarter of all people worldwide. More young girls are experiencing puberty early, and chemical exposure may be a part of the reason. A study by the Endocrine Society finds endocrine disruption chemicals can cause puberty to start early. Those substances are sometimes used in detergents, perfumes, and personal care products. Early puberty is associated with psychological problems, obesity, diabetes, and cancer. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, Joplin city officials finalize plans to revitalize Ewart Park.
And for some of us, a bit of a warmer start out there ahead of a hotter day across the 4 states. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, the Webb City Public Library is teaching residents about making healthier food choices.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:29. I'm Elise Noe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is Wednesday, halfway through this work week and our first full work week of September. And it's going to start to heat up. I mean, it was starting to heat up over the last couple of days. It's really going to start to heat up today. And then we got Francine. There's a lot going on out there.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
But it's Wednesday.
Yeah,
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you too.
Happy Wednesday. All right, let's start outside, shall we? Let's go outside. You know, if we had Trevor here, we could just walk outside. But Trevor is on location this morning, and we will be checking in with him, of course, a little later. We have got this, though, our camera, downtown Pittsburgh. Got a couple of clouds out there. Well, okay, more than a couple, but a few clouds out there this morning. Otherwise, not a bad start to the day. Our camera 7th and range line looking pretty good as well as we get this Wednesday underway. And same from the MoDOT camera at 20th and range line, looking back to the north. Few more folks out there on the roadways. And again, starting that Wednesday commute. And as we look at the fog tracker again, fog around the Grand Lake area. It's a big body of water. It's been happening the last few mornings. It's not as dense now as it was earlier this morning, but still, if you're traveling through parts of Delaware County, around Grove, western McDonald County, southern Ottawa County, just keep in mind, watch out, be prepared to slow down in case you run into some thicker fog out there this morning. Future track shows us getting a few extra clouds as we head into the afternoon hours across the area. It is showing spotty showers. I do not believe we're going to have any showers today whatsoever, but we will see clouds gradually increasing as we go later tonight toward tomorrow morning. We are warmer for many of us this morning. 66 in Joplin, sitting at 55 in Pittsburgh. And as we look at temperatures around the area, it's been a very broad range, an almost 20-degree range. We've got low, mid, upper 50s, and then we get into the low, mid, and upper 60s as well. And that's putting some of us, again, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer now than where we were 24 hours ago. Kids getting on the bus, we're looking at low 60s, sunny skies, southeast breeze around 5 to 10, sunshine, maybe a few clouds when that bus brings them back, but much warmer, 88 by the time the bus brings them home this afternoon. All right, heading into the day, mostly clear skies. Again, a few clouds later in the day and evening. They'll increase more so overnight, and we're looking at highs today. Averages is about 85. We're looking at highs around 90. Some of you might even make 91, 92. So definitely a hot day across the area. We've got Francine out there. We'll talk about what she may or may not do for us here in the 4 states and about some other rain chances next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks. Well, the city of Joplin has plans to bring a state-of-the-art facelift to Ewart Park. Now, city leaders received feedback from neighborhood stakeholders on information gathered in the park's master plan. Meanwhile, members of the homeless community say revitalization is fine, but don't forget about them. Now, KOAM's Lonnie Walton has more.
2 other males got into it, and one of them brandished a machete and the other one pulled out a katana. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm leaving.
Tom Walters says an upgrade for Ewart Park is great, but the safety of the park needs one too. He says homelessness needs to be taken care of right away.
And the homeless people that are here are mostly homeless people that are not don't want to go to the shelter, because at the shelter they have to follow a certain rules or guidelines.
Felipe, a once homeless resident at Ewart's Park, says the homeless people here are his family and wants the city to take care of them.
So how do I feel about revandalizing the park? If it benefits them as well, yeah. Not just for the community, or whether the community is donating money or whether they're being taxed.
Meanwhile, the city says residents want a change, and that's what they're doing.
The idea is to put some more security into the park, meaning we're going to have lit areas that make it safer at night. We're also implementing security cameras throughout the whole park.
If they expect the homeless people to go somewhere else, they're going to have to build a facility to house them.
The city says everything from a new splash park, a new play area, shade structure, and more will be featured in the new makeup. Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
The revitalization is set to be completed in early 2026. Officials are still receiving feedback from the public about how to make the park more family-friendly. Well, Mercy announces it will end its contracts with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield in Missouri on January 1st. Now, this will impact all commercial, Medicare Advantage, and other plans. Until then, Mercy will stay in network with Anthem. Mercy Pharmacy Services, however, will continue for Anthem patients. Mercy officials say they encourage patients to share their concerns with Anthem by calling the number on the back of their insurance cards. Well, KCU Joplin yesterday hosted its Score One for Health screening. It's a chance for fifth graders from Cecil Floyd, Jefferson, and Royal Heights elementary schools to visit the KCU Joplin campus and get a health screening. Now, second-year medical students supervised by physicians and nurses provided the health assessments, including blood pressure and physical checks.
It's awesome. It's really motivating to be able to see, have just a little bit of an idea of the ability that I'll have as a physician to be able to make a difference and help my community.
The health screenings were provided free of charge. The Webb City Public Library is teaching people how to make healthier choices when it comes to food. Yesterday, they hosted a healthy eating workshop, the first of 5. This one focused on changing to healthy habits. Now, each workshop will also feature a certain healthy dish for people to learn. And yesterday, that dish was fruit salad.
So finding the resources like that and finding recipes, we try to pick recipes. We're going to do some cooking, different things. Like today we're going to make a fruit salad. So different ways, to find your resources cheaper so that you can, have good healthy meals with your family.
The library will host a workshop every Tuesday through October 8th from 11 a.m. to noon. Next week's workshop focuses on food safety and will teach people how to make a chicken, broccoli, and cheese skillet. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Dr. Pepper has agreed to pay a civil penalty over inaccurate claims about the recyclability of its K-Cup pods. And we have a hot and sunny day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back, but first, we take time to honor those who died on this day 23 years ago. In Consumer Watch this morning, well, your smart devices may be getting even smarter. Tech companies are rolling out new phones with artificial intelligence brain power. Now it's Apple's turn with the new iPhone 16. Emily Schmidt reports what experts say you can expect as AI becomes a real part of your phone experience.
iPhone 16 is amazing.
It's smart for Apple CEO Tim Cook to hype what the company hopes is the next big thing. But at Monday's hardware event, Smart shifted to what Apple calls a personal intelligence system.
It marks the beginning of an exciting new era, and here it is.
This is the first Apple smartphone built for generative AI, putting the world you live in into a new perspective.
With just a click, boom, your iPhone instantly pulls up restaurant hours, ratings, and quick options to check out the menu or make a reservation.
Siri's interface is changing from when you activate it. There's like a glow around the entire iPhone screen. Siri sounds more natural, more like a human.
The reviews editor for Wired says while Apple made AI headlines, others have already made AI headway.
They're definitely one of the last to sort of jump into this from the perspective of like Samsung already did a little bit. Google just announced their Pixel phone and they had a lot of generative AI features.
Samsung says you could use its circle to search feature to find out more about a plant in a friend's photo. Google highlights how its Gemini chatbot could transform your emails.
What would normally take me minutes, Gemini does in seconds.
Apple also promoted its upcoming new watch, which it says can help detect sleep apnea, and its AirPods Pro model, which could come with a clinical-grade over-the-counter hearing aid feature. The pitch: you can know more when you let AI do some of the thinking. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Well, Bank of America says thousands of its workers are getting another pay bump. The California-based bank will raise its minimum pay to $24 an hour starting next month. The company has vowed to raise its base wage to $25 per hour by next year. Federal regulators say Keurig Dr. Pepper has agreed to pay a $1.5 million civil penalty over charges that it made inaccurate claims about the recyclability of its K-Cup pods. U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission says the company failed to disclose significant concerns expressed by two of the largest U.S. recycling companies, both of which did not accept the K-Cups for recycling. In agreeing to the settlement, Keurig does not admit guilt or deny the findings in the ruling. And Brock's has created sweets for candy corn lovers. Now fans of the Halloween candy can reserve a stay in specialty decorated rooms at Great Wolf Lodge locations in Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains and Gary, Illinois. For travel dates between the first day of fall, September 22nd, and Halloween, October 31st. Each suite comes with a pantry stocked with candy corn, of course, and other snacks. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
I know I am among the minority, but I actually like candy corn. I know I'm crazy, and I know that a lot of folks at home are probably turning their TV off or throwing things at it, but I like it. I don't think it's that bad. I also like those little candy pumpkins. Haven't seen those in a while either. Well, we're not going to have to worry about any of that yet. We're not quite to fall. We're not quite to Halloween yet, even though the stores would have you believe that Christmas is tomorrow with some of the decor that's out there. And we're starting with this, though. Live look from our camera downtown Pittsburgh. We got the haze, got a few clouds out there. Otherwise, not bad. Same from our camera at 7th and Range Line in Joplin. A little further to the south, this is the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line, looking back to the north. And we're also looking fairly good this morning there as well. Again, still dealing with some fog, especially around the Grand Lake area, so some reduced visibilities. Grove now creeping a little over to Anderson. Nothing significant, but as you know with the water, fog could be denser, especially right along that drive. So if you are traveling down there this morning, just keep that in mind. On the future track, outside of the haze that we've seen in the last few days from the wildfires out to the west, we'll have a few clouds out there. We'll start to have a few passing clouds as we head into the afternoon and evening, and those gradually begin to increase as we go into the overnight hours. Future track, again, this one's showing some showers. Not believe there will be any showers out there today. Temperatures 66 in Joplin, 55 in Pittsburgh, an 11-degree difference in just a short drive out there. And that's really been the case throughout the morning. We've almost got a 20-degree range of temperatures. Low 50s to the upper 60s out there. So again, wide range of temperatures. Some of us upwards of 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were this time yesterday. Others like Yates Center, about a degree warmer than where you were this time yesterday. All of us, though, heating up today. Kids getting on the bus this morning, low 60s, sunny skies, southeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. When bus brings them home, warmer, average highs mid-80s. We're going to be a bit above that. 88, mostly clear skies, still southeast breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. All right, so we got Francine. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some rain chances next week and when we're going to heat right back up again, because it's not going to take long. We'll go over all that in just a moment. We're also going to celebrate birthdays and anniversaries in just a moment. But first, here's what's happening on CBS Mornings.
Hello to you. I'm Gail King. Coming right up on CBS Mornings, John Dickerson will join us to break down last night's presidential debate. Plus, Major Garrett travels to the battleground state of Michigan for 3 meals with voters to see how are they feeling about these candidates. That's coming up on CBS Mornings.
All right, time for some Wednesday birthdays out there. We are starting in Fort Scott with Carson Meach celebrating birthday number 3. Happy birthday, Carson.
And over in Parsons, a happy 7th birthday to Lucas Hendricks.
And in Pittsburgh, Caroline Felk celebrating birthday number 8. Happy birthday, Caroline.
And in Hepler, happy 9th birthday to Avery and Emery Mangarelli.
And in Nevada, Tucker Pike celebrating birthday number 10. Happy birthday, Tucker.
And a happy 52nd birthday to Rick Clark in St. Paul.
And in Brazelton, Pat DeLange celebrating birthday number 70. Happy birthday.
And in Parsons, happy 14th anniversary to Matt and Amber Alloway.
And we've got Holly Johnson celebrating another year wiser over in Columbus. Happy birthday, Holly.
And a happy birthday to Janet Marr in Chanute.
And we've got Donna Richardson celebrating a birthday down in Joplin. Another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. We always love those great lists, and we want them to continue. Elise, what should they do?
Go ahead and submit your birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those photos and messages, and to, of course, meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen.
Absolutely. And today, it's going to be a bit warmer out there than what we have been as temperatures continue to heat up. As we head into the afternoon, we are looking at initially clear skies through the morning, then mostly clear skies as we head through the afternoon. Again, future track here is painting showers. There will not be showers today, but we will see a few more clouds, and they will continue to increase as we go late tonight into early tomorrow morning, as Francine is expected to make landfall a little later this afternoon across down in southern Louisiana. And then by the time we get into Thursday, Friday, get a little closer, a big shield of clouds coming off of Francine, though. So we're going to start to see those very early on Thursday. We're going to spend our Thursday mostly cloudy. Now, some data says, like you're seeing here, that we may see a shower or two on Thursday. In all honesty, at this point, Francine looks to stay a little too far to our east to really bring us any kind of meaningful rainfall out there. But we'll keep our fingers crossed. We do need some rain here in the 4 states, but at this point, what we're really expecting is just cloud cover, and that will also reduce our temperatures back to about average as we head into Thursday and Friday. And by Friday afternoon, as Francine continues to lift to the north, we'll see clouds gradually decreasing across the area. So here's where Francine sits right now. Winds are at 90 miles an hour, so still a Category 1 hurricane, but expected to make landfall later as a Category 2 storm. So here we are at 1 o'clock today, so late this evening into the overnight hours, southern Louisiana is where Francine's expected to hit. Be tropical storm status by the time it gets northwest of New Orleans. By the time it's north of Jackson, Mississippi, we're talking it's a subtropical system, and then we've got a subtropical low of Francine around the Memphis area. So getting it in perspective, that cone yesterday, the cone of uncertainty, the path here, stretched from Springfield to Nashville. Now it's much more narrow. It's right here focused. If it does manage to get into the western edges of this by, let's say, late Thursday into Friday, we could see a few showers east of 69. But at this point, it's really expected to follow this path and head almost straight north towards St. Louis, which means that we won't really see much other than the clouds, but you can see how far the clouds stretch out off of Francine. That's why we're going to have those mostly cloudy skies Thursday, but you can also see where the bulk of the precipitation is staying well to our east, cruising right up the Mississippi and eventually into St. Louis by Friday late morning and into the afternoon. You can see rain tries to get close to us by Friday morning, but again, all honesty, it really looks like the system's going to stay too far to our east to be of any benefit to us, which we, again, need some rain. We're also going to have to deal with the haze. Now, today it's still going to be fairly noticeable as we're still looking at mostly clear skies out there, and we've had these hazy skies for quite some time. So this is that smoke tracker from the wildfire smoke out to the west, and that will continue to stick with us through today and into our Thursday as well. But as clouds thicken up, we won't really be able to tell the difference out there. You can see that haze from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. It's giving that kind of that hazy, that darkish tint right through here. 66 in Joplin. So again, warmer than where we were yesterday at this time. Temperatures around the area, it is a very wide range. We've got 53 in Yates Center and then up to 67 in Carthage. So a broad range of temperatures out there this morning. So because of that, Yates Center right now, you are no different now than you were 24 hours ago. But then you head over to Carthage, for example, you're 14 degrees warmer than where you were 24 hours ago. So again, a bit warmer for some of us about the same we were yesterday. Through the morning, sunny skies, mid-60s by 8, low 80s by 11. We're going to warm up rather quickly out there, and then we're going to see highs above normal today. We're going to talk more about that in the full forecast here in just a moment, as well as the news you need to know. And when we switch over to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., we're going to hear about how vinyl records are making a huge comeback.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Parsons, Kansas police arrest a man in a kidnapping case. On Sunday, authorities responded to a robbery at the Canterbury Inn where a suspect with a yellow bandana and an AR-style rifle kidnapped a woman and stole nearly $500 and a set of car keys. The suspect was later found at a home on Deer Street where the victim was rescued. Official charges have not yet been filed. Authorities in Jasper County have arrested a suspect in the deaths of 8 puppies found in a plastic tote outside the Joplin Humane Society. All of the puppies were found dead inside, and official charges are pending for the suspect. Mercy announces it will end its contracts with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield in Missouri on January 1st. This will impact all commercial Medicare Advantage and other plans. Mercy Pharmacy services, however, will continue for Anthem patients. Patients are encouraged to share their concerns with Anthem. Now to check up today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we are looking to be above average today and warmer across the area, about 90 degrees for most of us. We'll have mostly clear skies out there through the afternoon. Clouds gradually increasing through the late evening and overnight hours. We'll go back into the low to mid 60s. Francine is going to stay, I think, far enough to our east that we're really not going to see much, if anything, in terms of rainfall. We will get the clouds, and it will put our temperatures back down to normal for Thursday and Friday. Then we start to clear out this weekend, back up above normal, around 90 by Sunday. And an opportunity for at least some isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms as we head into the next work week.
Alrighty. Well, coming up today at noon, we're making pork with apples and bacon in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Grammy winner Money Long has a new album coming up on CBS Mornings. Singer-songwriter is live in studio to discuss how she went from writing songs for others to a successful solo career.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Pam Reagan from the Missouri Job Center joins us in the studio to talk about how to bring together today's employers with area youth.
Plus, Julie Smith and Valerie Stone also join us in the studio for another Wildcat Wednesday. However, that's going to wrap it up for us for now. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.